Okay, folks, today we have a factored cubic equation that's a lot easier to solve than you might think given the instructions here. An example of what I'm talking about is the fraction 14/3, sometimes called an improper fraction. It's a proud member of the rational numbers minus z. Okay, you can write this as q minus z if you want, or q backslash z. All right, and this is set theoretic subtraction. We don't want this to be an integer, and just to be clear, in a number like this, let's say 9/1, okay? That's technically a rational number, but it's not a real live, it's a fake rational number, right? So we could write down it's not a member. And I'll write it this time, you guys may have seen it like this. This is called set theoretic subtraction. The rational numbers minus the integers in a set theoretic sense, okay? So we're given there is such a solution here, so that makes this cubic quite an easy task. Actually, one might think multiplying all this out would be a good idea, but it turns out we can use the prime factorization in a very favorable way. Now, 319 is 11 times 29. That's an easy computation. 5x plus 20, 52x plus 1 is the largest factor here, right? Well, 29 is the largest factor in the factorization, prime factorization of 319. So it makes all the sense in the world to set 52x plus 1 equal to 29, okay? Again, very reasonable thing to do here. It's very tempting to expand this out and get a cubic, but this is the best way to do it. All right, so if you finish this off, you'll end up with what, 52x is equal to 28. Okay. And if you divide through by 52, and if you divide through by 52 and then reduce the fraction, you end up with 7/13. That's fairly easy to see. 7/13 is 28/52. When you factor out 7 from both 28 and 52, cancel them, you get 7/13. So this appears to be the solution. Now, you can, if you don't quite trust what I'm talking about here, notice we can put a 1 in front of this prime factorization. Now, 1's not a prime number, but from that perspective, this appears to be the smallest one. I believe it's hard to know really, but this appears to be the smallest one. So let's set 39x minus 20. 39x minus 20 equal to 1. And notice right here you will get, I'll come back over here, folks, x is equal to 21/39. And as anticipated, this reduces to 7/13. And you can verify on this other one too, but this does reduce to 7/13. And we have found a bona fide rational solution. We checked it 2 different ways, and you guys can verify right up here if you want to. So the problem is kind of designed to work, but it's tempting. You know, if you were just given this without the instructions, probably a large percentage of us would multiply this out, try to see if we could get a factor of the cube, use a rational zero theorem. But this is a tremendous amount of information. You're given that there's an x that is a non-fake rational number, okay? And so anyway, the solution is x is equal to 7/13. Okay, good night.